A quiet Georgia morning. Two parents are still in bed. A 6-year-old wandering the house looking for mom and dad. When deputies arrive at the home of Carlton Tice Road on February 20th, 2025, they found James, or Jamie Brock, 45, and his wife, Kristen, 41, shot to death in their bedroom. Their 6-year-old had found them first. 5 months passed with no arrest. A church packed for their memorial. Friends singing in the Brock's favorite worship songs, and a community begging for answers. And then, a stunning turn. On July 8th, deputies arrest 17-year-old Sarah Grace Patrick, Kristen's daughter and Jamie's stepdaughter, charging her as an adult with malice murder and related counts. The investigators said they'd gather mountains of evidence. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Matt.
This is Murder We Spoke, where we center victims and their voices. Tonight, we'll walk through who Jamie and Kristen were and what happened inside their home, what's known about Sarah's online activity and the investigation, and how a grieving city is still balancing compassion with demands for justice. Okay, so Matt, when a case involves a teenager and their own family, what's the first thing you listen for in like the early facts?
In the early facts?
When it involves a teenager.
I don't know, investigate the teenager and see how guilty they are.
Like
they're pretty guilty.
What evidence would you first like look for like
check their drawers.
The suspect being a teenager.
Check their drawers for drugs.
I think that things have changed with teenagers nowadays. You
check
really
their
have to
Instagram and their Pinterest.
You really have to be.
And their internet history and such.
There you go. That's the center of this case today. So
this girl was just researching ways to harm people.
No.
Oh.
So she was in other ways. So this is Patrick and Kristen.
Oh.
That's their little 5-year-old daughter. That's the one that found them in bed. So we're going to get into the people at the center of this. Let's start with the people who should always be at the center of this. Jamie and Kristen Brock. By all accounts, they were kind, goofy, deeply loved. Their church family at the Catalyst Church filled every seat for the standing room only memorial service that was held on March 8th. Friends spoke about their joy, their faith, and how quickly they made a second family in the congregation. Catalyst posted memorial details, which was 2 p.m., inviting the community to celebrate their lives. So they held a memorial service after they died. For all accounts, they were very big church people. Like they made a family out of the church, and they weren't there that long within that church. They were there for like a year or two. They weren't hugely like been there for years, but they made like a huge impact, even though they were there such a short amount of time. So then they had a GoFundMe for Jamie's funeral, describing him as a lovely, loved husband, father, brother, and a friend who brought so much laughter into people's lives. It was created just days after the murders. So these aren't statistics. They're the life of inside jokes, favorite songs, and shared routines cut short. Matt, when we cover victims' lives, what details, big or small, help you feel like you know them?
And the whole church thing, that's pretty nice.
nice
Anything
to
like
have
that where it's
community.
community, or just know their common interests and like, oh wow, it sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, like I think...
And it makes you really feel angry at the person that harmed these people. Well,
it's realizing that they're people just like you and me.
Oh yeah, big time.
I think grounding them is like a very big thing that helps you feel like you know them beyond like what they put in the headlines. To know that this was just a normal family. It was a blended family. So it was a stepfather who didn't necessarily, took on the role of being dad for all accounts that we know. The mom was just trying to live her life. I did see that they did move around a lot. Details are still coming out. This is a very active case. This is a case that happened in February of this year. This past year.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
it was this recent.
It's like she just got arrested in August. Like she got arrested. So far, we'll get there. So the suspect got arrested in I want to say the beginning of August. So this is still very, very new. They're still gathering all the details, but this is very big TikTok-wise, which is interesting. So we'll get there. So we're going to describe the morning that the incident happened, okay? So this is the morning of February 20th. Deputies were called to the house the morning of February 20th. Both Jamie and Kristen had apparent gunshot wounds, and they were found in their bedroom. The discovery was made by their 6-year-old child in the home, who then led to the 911 response. Early on, the sheriff's office did not name a suspect. They asked for tips, but within days, Kristen's father offered a $5,000 reward for any information, calling the killings a cold-blooded act. February 24th. At this stage, the investigators held back specifics, ballistics, holding back like a majority of
that way it's not making anybody
but they
destroy
said
evidence or whatnot.
They have mountains of evidence against the suspect they have. So this is the official Instagram of the Carroll County Sheriff. This is actually their post about them responding to shots fired at this location. So at this stage, they held back specifics, ballistics, entry wounds, the method or weapon that was recovered. That's not unusual. It prevents detailed testing when tips come in. If you're listening from Carroll County, and remember, even something small from that week, unfamiliar vehicles, going down that road, porch cam, noises, or something seems off, you can come forward. They are asking people, I made sure they are asking people to come forward with information. Matt, what is one detail early on in the case that might feel trivial to other people, but really matters in an investigation? What do you feel like is like an important
thing? I don't know if they had any enemies or anything like that. Anybody that wants them gone? Have they hurt anybody recently? That's like, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, like sometimes passing comments get like blown off, and we don't necessarily take them in as something that could be serious, but some people are serious with
somebody jealous in the church, maybe.
Thank you. All right, so now we get on to the community grief. So, like I said, on March 8th, they held a honorary service with candle lighting, prayers for their children. The local news showed up, and they only had standing room only in the church. And the community with still no answers. In these rooms, you only hear victims' lives, not just violence. Their favorite worship songs, the way Jamie would make you laugh until you cried, the way Kristen poured into people. That's what I want you to hold on to as we move in this investigation. So I really want you to hold on to how much this couple was like loved.
Yeah, they how much on their community.
And they weren't there that long for people to be talking like so highly of them.
Their riz was elevated.
They had riz. They were really good people. They were normal people. So now we get to 5 months later. Okay? So 5 months later, it was July 8th, 2025. The sheriff's office announced that they arrested 17-year-old Sarah Grace Patrick, Kristen's daughter, Jamie's stepdaughter. She was charged as an adult. She's not an adult. Let me state this before we move on. They're charging her as an adult.
Hey, now they're kind of after young kids to be like, okay, if you're going to commit this heinous crime, you technically kind of knew like the consequences of what's going to happen.
Yeah, they said they charged her as an adult with 2 counts of malice murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. Multiple outlets broke the news. Officials say the case has built a mountain of evidence. For police to say that they have a mountain of evidence that she's, their person.
So unfortunately, if they got that much stuff, I wonder how much they got.
We will get to that. So now I'm going to show you. This is...
She looks so nonchalant.
Thank you. She does not look like how she comes off on the TikToks. We will get there.
Oh.
She is 17-year-old Sarah Grace Patrick. So this is her. So they have a mountain of evidence. County spokesperson Ashley Herschel reinstated the investigators had worked relentlessly and compiled extensive digital and physical material before moving in and arresting her. In court later, the bond was denied, so she's not going to be getting out before her trial. The judge cited the severity of the charges and the ongoing risk. Coverage also noted the case's pace. Arraignment set and a tentative trial window was placed, avoiding unnecessary delay. So this judge is really good. he says we're not going to make anybody stay in jail unnecessarily. So he said this is going to go quick because he wants this gone. So we need more judges like this that don't stall and wait for things to go forward. And
they were waiting like 10 years for a court case.
So I'm just giving the general overview before we start digging a little bit as much as we know. So the bond was denied. The judge says I want to hustle with the ongoings and what going forward. A grand jury indictment will follow in the fall, formalizing counts ahead of trial. So in the fall they'll say how many counts she's going to be charged with. So what I gave you was just a brief thing what she's going to be charged with. These are so before we move forward, I just want to state these are allegations.
It's allegedly.
Sarah has pleaded not guilty and she is presumed innocent until proven otherwise in trial. Our goal here is to understand the context around the arrest that investigators said they looked at and what responsible coverage looks like when a defendant is charged, a minor is charged as an adult. So we want to just make it clear, nobody is guilty until found guilty by the court of law. Okay, Matt, when a teen is charged as an adult in a double homicide, what responsibilities do we have in our language to report this to people?
To report? I mean,
it's because she is still a minor, technically.
I mean, you got to report it.
We do have a responsibility to report it.
If somebody says something, you can't hide it out. Then you're kind of like an accessory at that point. Was she going around like gloating about it?
I have some stuff. We're getting there. All right. So the investigators examined, okay? From the beginning, the sheriff's office very clear that this was a digital heavy case. Reporters have told investigators they have combed through social media, phones, and household digital print. What Hersley called a mountain of evidence. One thread that drew national attention was the her contact with online creators. So,
oh my God,
she reached out and went, "Hey, you should look into this story. You should look into this story." Her words exactly. She said, so it was this account, I'm not going to name the account, but a high-profile true crime account that showed up in her inbox. She said, I think it would be a really big hit. Deleted her account, she said, because the only person who posted about it made it as the first image you see when you Google their name. So this was just a report from one of the true crime users that she's having. She's saying that it was the first thing she Googled when she saw it. So, and then she also was reported saying, plus I can give you intel that nobody else has, that I can't break the case, but I can give you details. And she would say, that's what the cops told me. That's what the cops told me. So I want to make it very clear she reached out to true crime people. Okay, so she had contact with true crime creators online. That's what first drew the attention to her. Then all of the threads of her sweater unwrapped. Okay, so local and national pieces reported that after the murders, but months before the arrest, Sarah reached out to multiple true crime influencers urging the coverage of this case. Some creators later said that the messages felt unusually persistent or packed, and they forwarded the material to law enforcement. Officials acknowledged monitoring content circulating online, including what she was posting and what was messaged privately. So here we go. So news outlets then highlighted, which I'm sure some people have seen. I saw it before I even started researching this case. There's a funeral eulogy video that is spreading widely, showing Sarah speaking tearfully at their memorial. The clip became part of a public speculation circling long before court filings explained how it might or might not fit into evidence. This is a good moment to pause. I just want to make it very clear. A video tone on social media cannot prove guilt or innocence on anything. Okay, before we play this video. That's what discovery and testimony is for. That's what the court.
Yeah, that's for the court to decide.
So I just want to say that
you have your own peers
before we play this clip here, okay?
And then it's going to be her just like talking about everything that she did. And it's like, okay.
So I just want you to pay attention to tone.
Yep.
And I want you to pay attention to the words used in this. Okay, so I'll let you, the whole thing isn't out. There's only some pieces of it that are out. This was filmed by somebody at the eulogy. So she's doing the eulogy at the church. So this was like a Baptist church. So just like, I found out later that it was like a Baptist church. All right, so we're going to start watching this clip of her eulogy. This is how this is what was circulating on TikTok, all over social media. I want you to be aware of her tone. I want you to be aware of the words she says. A lot of the words she says is strange for a eulogy, for somebody who is eulogizing their mom and their stepdad, and essentially some people that they live with. So I'm going to play it for you now, okay?
Well, that was crazy.
All right,
and she looked like Pirate Software dressed like one of the little girls from The Shining in the hallway.
This is Georgia, so she's in the South, so it makes it... So, what stood out to you in that video?
I feel like her sniffles were very calculated. It wasn't like somebody that's having an actual breakdown during their thing. It's just like, and then like after a while...
There was no tears.
Yeah, no tears. She seemed like she started picking up a little bit and then was like, oh, I'm supposed to be upset.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be upset. And then, I don't know if it showed it in that video, she did say, I'm sorry, as Reverend walked up the
very
stairs.
strange.
People immediately, so
like, what?
Here it says, she captioned in the video, I miss you guys, save a seat for me in heaven, that's like, rest in peace. That feels kind of like that energy. And then she also gave a heartfelt speech at their funeral. They also said that was very suspicious. The 17-year-old, she told mourners, I'm sorry at the end of her eulogy. The moment in which raised eyebrows and made people go, wait a minute, why are you apologizing?
Yeah, it's not like I'm sorry for giving you guys a hard time while you were here.
I'm sorry.
Just strange, I'm sorry, out of the blue.
It just feels very like, she also thanked her cats too. That wasn't even the whole thing. There was a lot to it. So this was shared around social media. So the tone, again, videos can't prove innocent or guilty. Okay, it's just perspective. So what about the crime scene specifics? Publicly, authorities confirmed both victims were shot in their bed in the early morning hours. They have not released ballistics again, gun recovery details, or the full timeline of movement. They also said that there was a door that was kind of open, but it wasn't like somebody broke into their house. There was not really any It was unlocked, but it wasn't open.
It wasn't like a forced entry or a break-in or
There
anything.
was no proof of forced entry.
There wasn't anything thrown around as though it was a robbery or anything strange like that.
There is a detail that the 5-year-old daughter heard the gunshots at night, and the 17-year-old daughter's like, what gunshots? I was sleeping. I didn't hear anything, which is like, okay.
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Yeah. So if you were an investigator, what digital artifacts would you prioritize first? What would you be your number one?
Your Google searches.
Yeah, thank you. Your Google, especially nowadays, I feel like your Google
Everything's on Google.
Yeah, and I feel like everything's backed up. And
oh my God,
think that anything isn't backed up is...
Yeah.
All right, so we're kind of going backwards to forwards in this one. We're going to get into their daily life and social media use. So I want to be careful and humanize talking about the family dynamic. Public reporting paints the picture of a blended family who was involved in church with kids and family routine anchored by work, worship, and school. This is consistent with the memorial tributes from hundreds of people that came out to memorialize them. Online, the case churned fast. Hashtags, frame-by-frame reads of the eulogy. Some outlets attempted amplified screenshots from alleged social posts and DMs, which she has now deleted off of her. She deleted her account, her TikTok account.
Yeah. After she's been pushing everybody's buttons to talk about the story.
And also people are realizing it, and that's more evidence. So investigators later said influencers' outreach was among the digital avenues they reviewed. They didn't by itself equate wrongdoing. Lots of grieving teenagers post publicly, but it does become it highlights like what's actually happening in her life, and it tells the difference between a grieving teenager and something more.
Somebody looking for clout or looking for something to gain from the death of their parents. Even though having other people talk about your story, I don't understand where her plan is about getting any kind of something from it.
So I have some screenshots from some of her TikToks. So it was really, from what I heard, she was very attention-driven teenager. She really liked the attention. She liked the clout of it. Here's some screenshots from some of her TikToks. But this is on her way to her parents' funeral.
Oh my God.
And she's Snapchatting. This is a Snapchat, this is a Snapchat, and this is a TikTok. There's a time and place for everything. It's some of her stuff that she did was, I'm going to play you some of her reels that people did catch and did deem as something weird. All right? So.
And all those TikToks, I'm sure, are backed up. They probably could access that stuff even though it's deleted.
Yep. So these are her TikToks and what she was saying. Smiling and dancing. Crying. So those were some of her
TikTok reels to show her family life, and now that she's
this after.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So she's like an in memoriam kind of thing for TikTok, and being like, oh, look at me, I'm upset because I've lost all of this.
And people are also saying that what we're deeming as grieving is her feeling bad about what she did, more so than grieving the people who she lost. Like, it's more so all the stuff that she's crying about feels like more like I regret doing what I did more than I just don't think I personally
I wouldn't
would
have
put
the
it out
to
in
post or anything.
Yeah, I said I don't know if I would be able to put that out on social media like that, like especially TikTok, where it's like I don't know if I'd be able to do that, and that's just me though. So
I mean, everybody grieves in their own way, but her way is definitely a little strange.
Yes,
a little fishy.
So meanwhile, the people we must not forget are the children left behind and the extended family who are grieving 2 lives lost and facing a courtroom process that could take years. You see that in the church posts and in how the memorials were framed: comfort, remembrance, and a call to justice. Matt, What is your rule of thumb when social media becomes the loudest voice in a case? Separate that from the real facts. Like, what would...
I don't know. I mean, you got to take them both with,
grain of salt, I think.
Because, I don't know, I feel like social media nowadays is its own monster. Oh, yeah. And I think it is very telling just from the stuff that she posted and everything. Even though you can't use that as evidence because there's nothing clearly saying that she actually did any harm to her family or whatnot. Yeah. It's just strange that she's posting all of this stuff and everything and looking for attention about it and not really seeming too destroyed about it, considering the whole eulogy that she gave to her parents.
It's currently still waiting. She didn't get bond, so she won't be out and about. Her biological dad and I think it was her grandpa.
If I was her dad, I'd be like, nah, you could stay in there, honey.
Her dad's very good. There's a lot of people who believe she didn't do it. Their pastor doesn't believe she did it. The dad obviously doesn't believe she did it.
Isn't that just like the iconic...
The grandpa doesn't believe he did it.
Sociopath. They can chameleon into whatever they want, and if they're playing sympathy for whatever reason and pretending to not be guilty, again, allegedly if she is guilty...
Yes.
Then, I don't know. Think about one of my kids. I'm like, you can do what you got to do. I'm throwing my 2 cents in there one way or another. Especially if they're saying they got a mountain amount of evidence. I'm like, you're done.
Enough evidence that that it is overflowing. I actually was able to find their docket, which I didn't put up online. The actual police paperwork, which I was like, I didn't think they posted that so early in an investigation.
Yeah, usually they take a little time. Yeah. Even with that, what's that guy that does the crime scenes that are the police camps? Usually it's a couple of months or a couple of years.
This was out on Fox News. It wasn't
there wasn't a large gap.
You could even download the PDF. I was shook on how easily that was. So, as always, if you know something about the investigation and that investigators haven't heard, or if you've sent or received messages from this case, because there could be more, contact the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, and they do recommend that you do. It was
because that's crazy to go and kill your parent.
It takes another level of, I don't know.
Yeah, I could never imagine doing anything like that. But everybody snaps for whatever reason.
I think we still have a lot coming. We don't know the motive. They're still fleshing out the case. This has only just happened in February. So February may feel like a long time, but investigation, this is we've only just begun on this, okay? So Jamie and Kristen were not headlines. They were laughter in the living room, 2 voices singing at church, the comfort of parents at home. As this case moves forward into a trial, we'll keep our focus on them and on the facts entered into record, not rumor. If you've been moved by their story, consider supporting local victim service groups in West Georgia, or simply do what their friends did. Gather your people, tell the stories, play the songs, and love loudly. This has been Murder We Spoke. I'm Rachel.
I'm Matt.
And if you have thoughtful insights or firsthand information relevant to the case, drop a comment, follow, like, and report anything that you see.
Yeah, please. Stay safe. Information, big time.
Yep. Stay safe, stay kind, and we'll see you next time.